Hey guys, Carl here, Cultivate with Carl, and it's been a minute. It's been a little bit since we posted a update on the garden video. To be honest with you, it's been kind of hectic around here, and with the holidays and work and bad weather, I haven't really been out in the garden that much. So we're going to take a look today and see what kind of progress that the fall garden has made, which is significant. There's a lot of stuff going on, and in fact, today was the last day of the summer garden. Summer 22 garden is no more. We have a couple beds left, and I'll explain my methodology or my purpose for keeping them around. But we're all in on the fall 2022 garden, and we're starting to prepare the beds for the spring 2023 garden. And that is what we're doing now, so that when it comes March 1st, March 15th, we will be ready to plant and get everything ready to go for the spring/summer. So one of those things also, focus this spring on potatoes. February 14th, we'll be planting our first tubers, regardless of the weather, and it should work itself out. But everything else is going good. Let's go take a look at the garden beds and see what we've got going on. Okay guys, here you go. Here is the potato bed, and as you can see, the potatoes have seen better days. There is something in there that is eating the crap out of the leaves, and I have yet to be able to kill it. So I've tried everything in my arsenal without going to 7 Dust. I've tried BT, I've tried neem oil, I've tried Azera, all organic and all not working. But I'm using these potatoes like a trap crop, because if they're eating these potatoes, they're not eating the other stuff, and I'm okay with that. So if you can see all those little tags that say NR, those are Nordic Reds. I have confirmed that there are some Nordic Reds down there, and they're getting to the point where they're going to start, the tubers are just starting to grow. And more or less, if you remember this bed, we were just use these potatoes for seed stock anyway. So we'll see what happens. If it turns out good, great. If not, great. What we do plan to do, though, as soon as these plants have hit the end of their life, we're going to go ahead and put some amendments in the bed and get it ready for something in the spring. All right, the bed behind it, we'll just keep rolling and walk along. The bed behind it is an assortment of plants, mostly some type of cabbage. I don't really know, to be honest with you, because they haven't really grown at all. So there's a lettuce mix in there, and these were all like microgreens and stuff like that were supposed to be in this little plant set that a neighbor got, and I put them in there, and nothing's really come of them. But I'm gonna let them keep going, because hey, they're green and they're growing. So they're just growing really slow, and I'm not sure why. I've given them nutrients, and they seem to have good soil and stuff. But hey, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, here's the cabbage bed. The cabbage bed is booming. So the early Jersey cabbage and the super red 80 cabbage is doing well. They have a little bit of plant damage or a little bit of pest damage on them, but nothing to call home about, The plants are looking good. I'm just not sure that I'm going to get cabbage heads. So I've seen people already online with full heads of cabbage, but they probably planted before I did, and that's okay. I'm just hoping that it turns out, but I mean, they look good. Look how big that sucker is. And, I think I see a bug. Yep, look at that. What the heck? Some kind of a slug. I have to get something out and whip up on him. So, yeah, but there you go. Just a few holes, nothing big. Hopefully soon, like that one looks like it's starting to head up. Hopefully soon we'll be having us some cabbage. Sweet. All right, on to the next beds. Okay, guys, on your right, let me introduce you to the snow crown cauliflower. And on the left, we have Brussels sprouts. So both plants look like they're doing really well, except I don't have any cauliflower or Brussels sprouts yet. So patience, patience, patience. I've been feeding them. They've been getting watered. I'm doing my part. They'll do their part. The Brussels sprouts are looking rather Brussels sprout plant-like, which I'm pretty excited about. And then, but they're growing. I don't know if I should stake these or not. Go ahead and leave me a comment down in the comments if they need to be staked. I could stake them out and they could grow up stakes, but they seem to be doing fine just like they are. Not really a lot of pest problems in this bed. And this was the new bed. So, you know, first time use. It looks like everything is going good. Plus got the irrigation system in, if you can see the drip hoses in there. And the drip hoses appear to be working well. So there you go. The Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. Alright guys, here's the broccoli bed. And if you remember, this was the broccoli and pole bean bed. But I've gone ahead and gotten the pole beans out. And man, my friend Howard, he was correct. There were only four or five pole bean plants in there. And man, did they produce a lot of beans, a lot of string beans. I've been eating the mess out of them. What I'm going to do in the fall is or the spring, I'm going to plant more, and then I'm going to can them and have them, you know, as preserves. So, you know, I like string beans a lot, and I was very happy, and these taste better than any of the other ones that I've had before. Here, the broccoli flower, or the broccoli, is growing. It looks like broccoli now, like these little stalks look like broccoli, and I hope I'm getting some heads on there because I really like broccoli. And it would be amazing to have broccoli that I grew myself. So this is pretty neat. Alright, let's move on. Let's take a pan and let me show you what I've done with the other beds. This was the cucumber and pea bed. It is now just dormant, waiting for spring. Over there is the tomato bed, same thing. I lined this one with wood chips instead of hay. This is just the basic layout for the drip tape. I've re-amended this bed, and we're going to use it again for tomatoes next year. And then the only other two beds, you can see that was the bed for the peppers, and I've pulled all those up. They've done it all year. They've done their best, and they gave me a lot of produce out of that bed. Very happy with the production on that bed. And then there's the other bed over there, the tall bed. I'm probably going to build one more tall bed and put it right behind that. And then I'm going to do something else in the ground maybe. We'll see. But okay, let's take a fly down the fence. Alright guys, here we go. We got some cabbage over there. We got Danvers carrots here. I'm going to have to get in here and thin them out a little bit. That is, I don't know what that is. It was cucumbers and something else growing in it. And that something else looks official. It doesn't look like a weed. Here we have more Danvers carrots. Probably don't need to thin them out that much. Not many came up. This is my Kellogg's breakfast tomato plant. And the plant appears to be doing well. And if you can see right in there, I've got a couple, I've got tomatoes on here. So I think this is more of a cool weather plant. I haven't been having a lot of pest issues since I got it sprayed. I probably need to go ahead and prop it up a little bit more. But it's doing well. And then here on this tomato plant, same thing. I believe these are going to be celebrities. I have tomatoes back there. All up here. This one looks like it's got something to it. Yep, it's got a worm in there. Big old hole in it. Okay. All right, that's one. In these pots down here, I planted more potatoes. Glenn actually ended up having some leftover seed stock, and they're coming up just fine. And so here I planted bulbing onions. And then there I had some extra garlic in the pantry, and actually I planted it and it sprouted, but something's been nibbling on it, and I wouldn't put it past the squirrel patrol to be nibbling on it. So we'll see what happens with that. Here we have I don't know what those are. The signs have faded. Let me see what it says. Oh, it looks like some Dutch cabbage. I will have to look up and see what Dutch cabbage is supposed to look like, because that's been growing for a long time and it isn't really doing anything. Over here, this was a potato. My rosemary's doing really well. About to have to move that along. This was a potato. This was something, but I pulled it up. Can't remember. we have now these other tomatoes that are doing really well. These are celebrities right here. And then these are those garden monster tomatoes. I always keep wanting to say potatoes, but the garden monsters, these were good in the summer. And so hopefully they'll be good now. And here's some more tomatoes, more Dutch cabbage. These are bulbing onions. This was where the eggplant lived. It's gone now. These are onions. So these are bunching onions, and they will grow and multiplying onions. And then these are onions that will make bulbs, but I've never grown them before, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Here we have another set of bunching onions back there, plus a tomato plant that looks like it's doing wonderful. And then this is the actual Dutch cabbage poster child. I believe this is what they're supposed to look like. And I don't know why this pot is doing better than all the others, but that is much better. So it looks like it's about to head up. And then here we've got Danvers carrots, and these guys are doing well. I'm going to have to thin them out. And that, as they say, is that. Let's take a big pan. Okay, let's go ahead and pan the garden, and so you can see the whole thing. There's Squirrel Patrol doing their job, keeping the squirrels out. I think all the squirrels are sleeping. And yeah, so it's looking a little bare, but it's also got a lot of new growth. I'm pretty dang happy. You know, I've never done a successful fall garden before, but here you go. The successful fall garden. All right, let's go back to the tripod for the outro. Oh, by the way, see all those pumpkins over there? I got those for free from a pumpkin patch, and I'm feeding them into the compost. I don't know how to make pumpkin anything, and I don't know if these are the kind of pumpkins that you use to eat, but they certainly do make good compost. All right. There you have it, guys. It's the fall garden in progress. It looks like everything is doing what it's supposed to do. We've had a lot of rain this weekend, and I think it's really helped out a lot. Plus, you know, we've had a lot of cool weather. One night was frost. I had to come out here and cover a lot of stuff. Some things I didn't cover. But I think that with the frost, it's kept the bug pressure down a bunch. The Squirrel Patrol is trying to get some attention here. And I'm thankful for that. So if I hopefully can just get some broccoli and some cauliflower and some Brussels sprouts, you know, and some cabbages, I think this fall season will be a success. I really believe we are in store for a load of Christmas tomatoes. And that tickles me pink. So the weather for the next week is low 70s or 60s during the day, and then maybe 50s at night. So the temperatures are really moderate, and we're not going to have to worry about any frost. Now, our first frost date is coming up in a week. So technically, we've already had our first frost with that couple nights that got down to 30, but it doesn't look like any really winter weather is coming in anytime soon, according to the 10-day forecast. So there you go. Well, I hope that you're doing a fall garden. And if you are, you know, throw up some pictures or something. You know, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I have a Twitter, but I don't think I've done a Cultivate with Carl Twitter yet. You know, and I think I'd rather be out in the yard doing gardening stuff than be online anyway. But I'll post the progress pictures up. Why don't you tag me in some of your progress pictures? You know, hashtag Cultivate with Carl. And I would sure enjoy looking at some of your stuff. You know, I always talk about having a hobby, and you know, during the holidays, there's busyness. You're busy doing stuff, but you also need time for yourself. So, gardening or model building, like I do, playing with the Squirrel Patrol. There's lots of things out there to get your mind off the hectic world that we live in. You know, and then I find myself when I'm sitting around, not worrying about problems, except for what am I going to plant in the spring. So I think that's a good problem to have. But that's about it, guys. So there you have it. Cultivate with Carl here. This is your after Thanksgiving update. And I hope that you all are doing well. You have a good season. Now, if there's something to brief you on, some progress in a couple weeks, I'll come back and do another update. And hopefully next time we see each other, I'll have some broccoli heads and some cauliflower heads going. Maybe even some tomatoes. So there you go. So check back soon, check back often, and also hit me up on Instagram. I tend to post a lot more pictures there. So that's it. Have a great day. Have a happy holiday season. And we're going to sign off here. This is Carl from Cultivate with Carl, and we'll see you next time.